everyone. Okay, so this first video is going to be everything that I learned regarding switching chords this week. There's two videos that I talked about, so I kind of combined what I learned in both of them for this. Okay, so the first chords that I'm going to show you switching between are G, which is this, and C. So I'm just gonna do it really slow, trying to go finger by finger and only lift up my fingers a little bit, as I mentioned in the post. So first of all, G, lift up my ring finger, put it down on C, and then lift up these two fingers, and then put these two fingers back in place for G, lift up ring finger in place for G, back to C, lift, back to G, lift, place, back to C, lift. So now I'm going to do it a little bit faster. I'm still going to try and do the technique that I learned in that video, to only move like one finger at a time kind of thing, and like keep the remaining fingers placed down until right before you strum. And don't only lift your fingers a little bit off of the fretboard. So like if I'm going from G and moving to C, I don't want to move to C and then lift these fingers way up into nowhere. I want to just keep them hovering just right above the fretboard for C. The other thing that I learned that was really important is never to have none of your fingers on the fretboard, like in between chords. So I don't want to go like G, lift, oh, C, lift, G. You know, you want to go finger by finger and always have a finger on the fretboard and move them one by one. Don't just like take them all off and then try to put them all on. You want to move them one by one to the different chords that you need. Excuse me, ma'am. Okay, so now I'm going to go a little bit faster between G and C, but still trying to keep that same technique. So I'm going to start with G, C, G, so my fingers are still definitely not as good at staying close to the fretboard as they're supposed to, and not like lifting up all weird. That's one thing that I'm focusing on learning while I'm learning how to switch chords more smoothly is finger independence, finger strength, and finger flexibility. Those are three things that are really important, and they come with lots of practice and lots of repetition of switching between these chords. So yeah, that's G. That's moving between G and C. And then the other one that I am going to show you is moving between G and F. So here's my G, and then F. This one's definitely harder. So I want to go, okay, this one's harder, definitely, because this one requires a lot more like finger independence, whereas moving to C is only moving one finger. This one you have to move a few, and it's kind of hard to move them one at a time. So starting with G, I'm going to move to F, so I'm going to move my pointer finger down here, and then the video wants you to move your middle finger up while keeping your ring finger down, which is kind of hard because my ring finger definitely wants to fly up when I move my middle finger. And then last, right before you strum, lift up ring finger, strum your F, and then ring finger back here for G, oh my gosh, middle finger down for G, pointer finger up there for G, strum your G, pointer finger back down here for F, middle finger moving while keeping ring finger down up here for F, lifting ring finger, strum. So that's kind of like what it is, super slow. And then I'm going to try to do it a little bit faster while still doing the finger by finger technique, which is a little bit more difficult for this one, but it definitely just takes practice. So let's start with G. So I've got G, F, back down, G, back down, G, back, oh, back up, F, kind of like that. It definitely does feel really difficult to do the finger by finger technique, and it's really easy to want to just strum, lift, which, like, as you keep practicing, it will be more smooth like that. But I think it is really important when you're first beginning to do the finger by finger technique, so that your fingers do gain that flexibility, strength, and independence, and then they kind of just learn how to move to the different chords on their own without a lot of struggle. So yeah, it definitely just takes practice and repetition, and the 2 videos that I mentioned definitely showed me a lot regarding smooth transitions between chords. So I definitely just need to keep practicing so I can start doing it faster and smoother without like going finger by finger so slowly, just like quickly tapping them down and then strumming. So yeah, it definitely just takes practice and repetition, and I have a long ways to go, but I think learning these like foundations of doing it finger by finger super slowly so that your fingers learn where they're supposed to go and how they can move on their own is really important for perfecting the smooth chord transitions.